What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, Friends After 40 podcast.
What up?
Hi.
What up?
What's up?
All right, so it's early evening, and we're thinking about options for food tonight, and it's very appropriate because tonight's episode is all about dining out with friends. It is absolutely one of our favorite things to do.
My love language.
If you know us at all, if you know us or you don't know us, it's one of our favorite things. We're huge foodies. Dine out a couple of times a month, mostly because, our kids are older, so we get to escape.
Did you just say a couple of times a month? You need to up that number.
Couple
I'm
times a
being,
week,
right?
I'm trying.
And you also got to throw in that we do senior hour.
Oh, that is key.
Yes. We do senior hour, meaning that we love to actually dine out earlier in the evening, right? So when we go out, we're probably hitting a good 5:30, 6 o'clock reservation.
Yep.
Right? But when we're going out with friends, it is all about, and that's what this episode is about, is really about etiquette, proper etiquette when it comes to dining out. And that's what we're chopping up tonight. And one of my biggest pet peeves about dining out with friends is let's respect the reservation, please.
Preach.
Let's
First
respect
of all,
the
I
reservation.
love how y'all only dine at places that require a reservation.
Well, that's what you should be dining at.
You see how she
just saying.
artfully changed the topic right there?
I didn't. I'm just saying.
That was amazing.
We are still very much on topic, but yes. But I mean, in our friend group, do we have anyone that's really late? Why did you laugh?
Huh?
Oh, I'm the late one?
Other than you?
Yeah, we kind of do.
She's like late for her own birthday
make
party.
me on time.
I do my best.
You do your best. It's pretty good.
Sometimes my
I'm
best
pretty close.
isn't good enough.
We just have to tell you a different time so that way you'll be on time.
It's like a 15-minute run over sometimes, but I've gotten better. No?
So you mentioned that it's your pet peeve, and I will say that being late is like a disrespect of other people's time.
It is. Yeah. It's a disrespect of other people's time. You're doing yourself a disservice, and you got to think about the restaurant too, right? The restaurant is preparing for you to be there, and they're
time.
banking
Why are you looking at me, James? I'm on time. Okay, if
banking on their
fault,
customers
if he tells
to
me
show
15 minutes before we have to leave, 15 minutes, and I'm like,
That's not how it goes down.
No, it's better.
How does it
it's
go
better
down?
now,
down.
but that is exactly how it was going down before.
my
No, you know what
goodness.
James does? I'm upstairs and I hear the car turning on. I was like, I gotta hurry up. That's my 5-minute warning.
There are certainly subtle flags that we hand out that at least I do.
Oh yeah,
when we know we got to
You
be
think they're
somewhere on
subtle?
time, start the car. I'll be running around shutting lights, turning on the lights
It's
outside
like
on
the
the front
epitome
porch.
of passive aggression.
Yeah,
He's taking care of
oh,
everything.
they're subtle.
Yeah.
They're anything
Oh my
but subtle.
God.
Like lights off. I'm still doing my makeup.
No, my wife feels like
Here we go.
it's not time to get ready until you're done right at the time you need to leave.
What?
So basically what I'm saying is you don't see the point in getting ready early so that you'll be ready to go on time.
I usually give myself an hour. That's to shower, dress, makeup, hair, usually. If I have the time, it's the truth. But sometimes we don't have that, right? Like if I'm running from work and I'm working from home, but I have calls that are running,
Behind.
Yeah, or sometimes till 5 o'clock. It cuts. Like if we have dinner at 5:30, I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? But I mean, look, the truth is though, I am aware of the time. I don't take it for granted. I am aware, especially when we're going with other people, right? That it's like, I'm not just making us late, I'm making all of us late.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to do better.
You ever see?
And I try. I do try.
You ever see? How do you feel
Using-
about? How do you
using my
feel about
inside voice.
people that that are running late but are walking like they're early. Like
Oh, that drives me
But I'm a slow
walking,
walker.
Janine does
are
that too.
walking like a slow
I am the
stroll.
slowest
like,
person I know.
Janine's got no sense of urgency.
She's like, they have a 20-minute grace period. We're fine. We're fine.
But not just my wife. I mean, anyone. You're like,
Thank you.
We'll be, like if you're
Janine's
sitting,
like, throw me a life.
if you're sitting and
jacket.
waiting, right, and you see, and whoever's in the party that's dining is late, and they are walking with no urgency at all.
Yeah. Well, they're already late. They don't
That
care.
drives me crazy.
Yeah, you're like you're the on time is late person.
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
for everything.
Early is on time.
Yeah, and then he gets like this anxious
On time is late.
thing
Yeah.
happening, and I'm like,
And late should be unacceptable.
A dinner reservation is not the time to be fashionably late. Is that right?
Yes.
That's fair, right?
Yeah, it's not
Is
a
it?
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not strolling in, all eyes on you.
Right. We set a party. It's okay to be 15 minutes late.
Yeah, but not a
But
dinner
not dinner.
reservation.
No, because you could lose your reservation.
Yep.
And I'm hungry. And it takes them
But
a long time to bring the food
What
anyways.
about the reservations when they're like, "Oh, is your party here?" And you're like, "No," and they won't sit you down.
oh, I hate those.
So now you're standing there waiting.
Word.
That's a good segue because that's the tough thing I think about dining in groups, like larger groups, right? Because you have people coming from different places, right? And depending on how they budget their time, they could be running a little late. And so we have run into that situation where it's like 8 of us, 10 of us, and we can't be seated
'Cause we're waiting for the last 2.
yeah.
Oh, we know somebody who doesn't know how to be on time. It be time to be there. And this person is leaving the house.
I can't let you talk about my friend like that, okay? I can't let you.
Leave it right now. But she knows who you're talking about.
Oh.
I know, and I don't even have that much experience with her. And I figured it out already.
Yeah, she knows. Oh, man.
But her purses match her outfit, so
That's
I
right,
can't
they
hate.
do.
No. Yeah, she stay fly. She stay fly because she always late.
Yep, that's why.
She's taking all of her time trying to get ready. What about phones at the table? Now everybody's glued to their phone. So how do you feel? What do you feel about the phone at the table? Well, I'm asking you, and you're never on your phone.
No, I'm
No,
never on my
he's
phone.
not that person.
Yeah, and I think I have an issue with just people being on their phone in the presence of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And if I chose to spend the time to break bread with you, to have a meal with you, it's also to for us to share that time, for us to be present for one another. So if you start going down a rabbit hole in your social media, I
That
mean
drives me
that's
crazy.
a huge
Yeah.
turn off.
I try to
for
stay
me.
out of that in any social setting because it is a rabbit hole, and I know I'm very like instantly I'm sucked in. So I'm like, you know what, I should just not even take my phone out. I mean, we still have a young one at home, so sometimes you'll see me. I try and do it either at the start of the dinner or toward the end, just like quick text check in on her. But
Which is totally acceptable.
yeah,
It's
but
not. It's the other side of it, right? When
Yeah.
it's like, look at my vacation. Look
yeah,
at this.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's okay.
yeah.
And then
It's,
it's like, no, I want to have dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with some picture sharing to a certain extent. I think we've been at some dinners where it goes a little long.
Long?
Like if you have a couple of quick pics or whatever, I'm good with that. Especially if I'm asking, like, hey, you have any pictures? But I think sometimes, like, we've definitely been in some situations where it's like, 10 minutes in and we're still looking at pictures.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
That's
I
all.
was good like 9 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I want to be present
Yeah.
in what we're doing.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to experience what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to take me someplace else
Right.
with
Yeah.
anything, with your social media posts, even if it's funny. Because I mean, let's face it, you go on to Instagram, I will belly laugh at some of the stuff that I see, but it's not the place or the time.
So what do you think like people should do when they are in that setting, but they want to share? They want to be like, hey, look at this funny video or this thing on TikTok.
Send
or
it. Well, you shouldn't have been there in the first place because we had dinner. But if you do come across something, then just send it. And when they go on their phone, look what
Even
you
their
sent.
vacation pics, you want them to send you those?
No, I don't do that.
Keep
So
your
like,
vacation
what's a
photos.
good way? Because look, if you don't see certain people for I don't know how long, but like a certain amount of time has passed, right? And they haven't seen you in a few months, and this is kind of like their way of catching up.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, being on the receiving end, you're like, but this is a lot, bro. Like, this is a lot. Your 50 pictures right now is too
Right.
much. So, like, what do you think is a good way to kind of,
So
Like,
I'm
can we
gonna
save
throw
it
this
for
out.
after the dinner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well,
save it for
after the
after the
dinner.
dinner?
So what I was gonna throw out is potentially nightcap, right? But also asking, hey, I had such a good time when I went so and so. Do you want to see what we experienced when we went there? So kind of a lead in.
asking?
You have to kind of know who you're dealing with when you're out to dinner. So, and if you're strategic enough, you can get ahead of it.
Right.
Right. So you can say things like, "What a great weekend last weekend, right? At the party. I know, girl. I know you got some. Boy, I know you got some good photos. Show me afterwards. Let's. I'll love to check them out.
I
You
just
gotta-
want to hear you
gotta be
call
good
someone and
enough.
talk to them like that, boy, right?
Girl,
boy.
girl, boy.
Boy.
Better show me your stuff later. Not now.
Not now, later. Wink, wink.
Show
nod,
me your
nod.
stuff later. That
Show me
didn't
your
sound
stuff.
right.
I was going to ask Lisa about her perspective, but I'm still waiting for Lisa to respond to last week's text.
Yeah.
Let alone worry about her
See, you
breaking
don't
out her
have to
phone
worry
at dinner.
about me at dinner. I'm the perfect guest. I won't even know where my phone is.
That is the truth.
Same,
That is the absolute truth.
same.
I
Where's
do
your phone right
love
now?
when we go out to eat and the food is really, really good, and we're all like, taste this, taste this. I do like, I love
Oh,
that.
okay. So is that
Right? I love it.
is that, and we do it with each other.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's not really proper etiquette.
What,
to,
being all in each other's
to
plates
have
like that?
everyone
Especially now after COVID.
all in
Each other's plates?
each other's plates.
Plates, cocktails, bros, right? We're
Cocktails,
always like,
yeah.
taste this,
It's like,
taste this.
taste this.
Violating
And you
all
know-
sorts of health codes
All of it.
post-COVID.
Yeah.
All of it. But I love, like, we all have like an enthusiasm around it, right? When it's good, you know it because we're all like, oh, taste this. And then the cup is going around the whole table.
Even when it's
right?
bad. This is nasty.
Taste
Taste
that.
this.
Lisa's inspecting it before the passing of the plate even happens. She looks over and she's like, not touching that one. No, she's like, that one looks good. You try it first.
Yep.
So she's that's the strategic part of Lisa right there. When it comes to the food, she's like, that chicken don't look cooked. That steak
And I
looks
was
amazing.
right. And I got food
Yep.
poisoning. See? So I'm good.
Well, that's because we ended up at a timeshare. So you knew that was
But that's
coming.
where you took me. Yeah. Shame on you for taking me there.
Well, what about those couples that right out of the gate, their whole shtick at dinner is to divide up their plates and share, or you eat for the next 10 minutes, and then we're just gonna switch plates. But
I'm not mad
and
at
that
that.
is their
I'm not
thing.
either. Well, I mean,
mad at
we've
that.
we've
not
definitely
mad
have
at
done
that.
that. It's not our thing, but we've done it. I'm not mad at that.
Because we do it on a grander scale. We pass our plate around.
Yeah, so everybody can taste it.
Like,
Yeah.
taste it. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. You have to taste it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you didn't even ask for it, and I'm putting food on your plate.
And how many times have we been to a restaurant and everything on the menu looks so good, and you're like, I don't even know what to order. So now you're strategizing,
Yeah.
right?
You're like, who's ordering what?
Yeah.
So we all can taste.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to give up 10% of my dish to everybody else.
But you've done it.
Yeah. I mean, but so that brings us to the other
begrudgingly.
thing, right? That brings us to the other thing, right? So when you get the bill, are you going to pay for your dish, or are you going to split it, right?
I mean, you split the bill because $1 is $1, but
Yeah. So don't you want some of that food?
Good point. Good point.
because I get food envy really quickly.
Exactly.
So
So you should be on board with
We
that.
know.
Hey, and what happens if you taste something and it's like, I'm glad I didn't order that.
I got the bubble guts from that one bite. Good luck with it.
But that brings you to another thing, a huge thing, splitting the bill.
Yeah. But I think
I mean, I think for the most part, we're good about it.
Yeah.
And I think most of our friends, like I'm trying to, like recall, I think we're, for the most part, Because I see you giving me a look.
We all know
I
that one
think
person.
we're okay. I do think maybe there is, I don't know, maybe there's one person I could think of that, you know.
Itemize the bill.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a thing where, like, if it's just them, they're like, well, if it's just me and y'all are here as couples, why am I paying for part of your share, right? Because it's just me here.
That's when they get their separate check, right? And
That's when they start calculating,
So,
itemizing the bill, and like,
yeah,
all right,
that's
I'm
when
just
they
gonna,
itemize the
you know,
bill.
I
I
mean,
think-
I'm not gonna say I don't understand their perspective. I think I'm just at a point where I just overlook it. I just think that, like, the way karma is, it'll come back to me anyway, in a good way, right? So,
Right.
especially if that
It's-
person wanted to try out everybody's food.
Well, if
and
they
then,
want
and
to
then
try,
pack it up and take it home.
And then pack it up and take it home, right? So yeah, split the bill.
It works out, right? I always feel like that. Like, if it's not today, there's gonna be some other time in the future. It always kind of balances itself out.
in the wash.
Yeah, in the wash. Thank
It
you.
all comes out in the wash.
Yeah. What do you think, James?
We're gonna flush it out because we had to learn that one, right? It wasn't flush; it was flesh.
I don't want to offend. I don't want to offend the audience in any way with any of my comments about splitting the bill.
But, I
Because
mean,
everybody
we're-
has their own approach to it.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just at a place where I'm not going to look at. It all comes out in the wash, like we said, right? So
Yeah.
whether it's today, whether it's next week, whether it's next month, the $5 I lost tonight or the $20 I lost tonight, I'm earning back in some other night. Whether I'm sitting on your couch having this wonderful, what we determined or named tonight to be a what would you call it?
A brown ginger.
A brown ginger, right?
ginger. I love
It's
that
a
name.
it's a wonderful cognac drink for which I'm not paying for this evening, right? But I will pay for it somewhere eventually. So when we get into the itemization stuff, it drives me insane. So just
Yeah.
don't worry about it. And if you're challenged, and I get it, people can don't go out,
Right.
stay home.
Or
That's-
go out
Yeah.
by yourself.
Or go out,
So-
or eat, or just do something different. And I know, like, everybody's situation is different. I'm not poo-pooing anybody's situation
Yeah.
whatsoever. There are nights where I don't like the bill,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's
Even when we're
disgusting.
splitting it down the middle, it's like, oh,
Dude,
I'm not
that's
coming here
nasty.
again, and I may have to, like, think about next week's reservation
Yep.
being pizza one instead of
Happy hour.
the happy hour menu instead of going to our favorite place, kind of thing, right? So you balance
Yeah.
it out, but that's just my perspective.
Yeah, I think who you're with matters too in that scenario. Like, if you know your people, you know that it will kind of all wash out, right? Maybe if you're in a newer group, you're not sure, and maybe you have some concern about how that's going to look and will it wash out because
Right. Are you gonna see them again?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that too. I still would behave the same way. Unless it's something crazy off balance. I don't even know what that would be.
Yeah.
Like if I'm one person and they bring their family of 5 or something.
Oh yeah, that's
You know what I
happening.
mean? It
Yeah.
have right, but otherwise, I don't think I would say.
Or you get forced into bottle service that you really didn't want. Where the hell did that bottle of Clase Azul come from? How much was that? I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. I still haven't told Lisa how much that bottle was that night.
Richie, did that happen to you?
It did happen to me.
It absolutely
Happened
did.
to me on my birthday.
I know.
It's like, what happened?
That was funny.
And it all came out of my card.
That was funny. It was good though.
But-
That was good.
The thing is, it's the cost of just dining out.
Yeah.
I think.
Sometimes, yeah, it is.
Someone's point who mentioned it before. If you have a huge issue with something like that, then you probably just shouldn't
Go.
dine out with
Yeah.
friends. You
Yeah.
shouldn't go, or I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. The only
Yeah.
answer is just don't dine out with friends.
Yeah. I know back in the day, it used to be, well, I didn't drink or I didn't eat that appetizer and I used to just be like so annoyed
Yeah.
by that. You know what I mean? But I feel like we've kind of collectively moved away.
Yeah.
I don't really see that happen anymore. But I think at this age, I don't know if that was still going on. I would not.
Well, then
I'd be like, I can't eat with this
with that
person. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would drive me
yeah.
crazy.
Let me switch gears a little bit on you guys. What about that one friend in your group that is the difficult orderer?
You mean eater, the picky eater?
The picky eater.
The ones that eat the chicken fingers?
The ones that eat, I don't know,
At a
the ones that order their steak well done
Oh, shit.
should be taken out back,
I mean,
by the way.
steak should,
But
steak,
you know,
steak
there
should never be.
there are those that want the
Hockey
hockey
pucks?
puck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
steak should never be eaten well done. But I mean, I'm not one to yuck someone else's
Yum.
Yeah.
yum. I think that when
But
the
we won't make
order,
fun of them.
Yuck,
Yuck
the
your
yum.
Yum. You never heard
You
of
never
that?
heard of
I've
that?
never
Don't
heard of
yuck
that.
my yum.
Yeah.
I've never heard of
It's
that.
like, don't poo-poo what someone's eating.
It's like a brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. It's another
you
first for
learn
me.
something new.
Don't yuck my yum. I'm going to say that at work tomorrow.
You
Just
also
don't
gonna
say it
say,
like
hey,
that.
I don't know
boy.
why. I'm just
Don't
going to say
say
it.
it.
just don't say it like that.
Are you also
Don't
going to
yuck
say,
my
hey,
yum.
boy, hey, girl?
So-
You gonna do that?
Don't yuck my
Hey,
yum.
boy.
Hey boy,
Hey, girl,
boy.
don't yuck my yum. I know you love my PowerPoint.
Oh god.
Oh, my God. I would
That's me
love
tomorrow,
to
and
be
they're going to look
present
at me like, what is going on with you? Don't yuck my
You'd
yum.
be like, where's James?
I know,
for-
right?
Where is he? Is he going on
Who is this
vacation?
imposter?
But I think that
Oh.
when there's someone who orders a meal and they're like, take this out, take that out. Do you have this? Can you exchange this for this?
Difficult.
I feel like the waiter goes in the back and
And does what,
Starts
Bagels? What does he
messing.
do, babe?
And looks for Fremunda cheese.
He does the hot tooth.
He's gonna do a little salt shaker on the old on the old hockey puck there.
Oh, so gross.
what about
Fremunda
someone
cheese.
who has been like mean to the
Oh, I
server?
don't like
Stand
that.
that.
That I don't like. I don't like.
Because now you messing up my food.
Word.
Yeah, I don't like that. And I think it's like embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It is.
I'm like
embarrassing.
embarrassed
extremely
for them. I'm
embarrassing.
embarrassed for us. I'm like, well, why do you have to behave that way?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
Me either.
That's how you end up waiting much longer for your food, and you might have a surprise that you may not know about. You may not know about.
Surprise!
You won't know about it. She'll be like, this
Nope.
tastes interesting.
It's like that movie Waiting, where the food got sent back because she ripped the waiter a new one. She ripped Ryan Reynolds a new one,
Oh, I know.
and he went into the back, and Dane Cook is back there, and he's like, he's doing all sorts of stuff. And like her food got passed down the line,
line.
and they were
So
doing
gross.
all sorts of stuff to it, and it went out, and he's like, and she's like,
It's so disgusting.
and he's looking at her like. Hilarious. Hilarious. Waiting is the name of that movie.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
You have to check that out.
my
Yeah.
I love
goodness.
Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yes, we do love Ryan.
We do.
No. No, thank you.
So be polite to staff
Yep.
is the moral of that story, right?
Yep.
All right. So what else you got?
What's the weirdest thing that has ever happened while dining out?
The weirdest thing that has ever happened while dining out.
I remember you telling a story recently about someone spilling something.
Oh yeah. We were out to dinner the other night for our son's 21st birthday, and
Oh, yeah.
and 2 tables
It
down.
wasn't weird. It was just funny.
It was kind of funny, but
It's
it
weird to me.
caught me. So a drink spilled on the table, and it got all over this poor guy. Right, I think it was like white wine or something, or like a white sangria. He gets up and he's soaked, like it's literally running off his shorts. I look over and I did like a slight giggle because it was
Kind of funny.
kind of funny, slight giggle, and he looked dead at me in the face, in the eyes. We locked eyes, and I'm in the middle of a half a giggle, and I tense up. I'm like, and then I went like this. For those that are watching, for those that are listening, I was like, like in my mind, I was like, oh shit, he caught me. He caught me. I was like, it was like the restaurant went silent. It was one of those types of like, I had a hot flash. Like he caught me.
It's like the record scratch.
I was like, why did we lock eyes? It's like, of all people, you look at me, looking at you, looking at me, looking at you.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man.
watching me watching you. So that was, it wasn't a weird thing, but
That was weird.
That sounds a little weird to me.
but it's happened.
Oh my god.
Can I tell you a funny story though, like a funny restaurant story from back in the day when I used to high school. I was bussing tables. I might have told you the story. So I'm working bussing tables, and we're busy AF in the restaurant. And this restaurant, the way it was set up, when you walk in the front door, it had like this wall that was like centered down the middle of the restaurant. And you could basically walk around it, right? There were tables all the way around it. And this little guy just decides to do laps around the wall. And he's like running through the dining room, going around the wall.
When you say little
going
guy, like
around
a
the
kid or an
wall. Yeah,
adult?
little kid. Little kid. And I'm
Is it a little person?
A little person?
I don't know.
not a little person. No, I'm glad you said little person, right? I'm glad you didn't say other things.
Hey, I'm a little person, okay?
I mean, okay.
He's like, I don't think so. I am, okay?
I just see Janine running around this wall, doing laps now around this wall in my mind. But what happens next is
My slow
hilarious.
ass, right?
Because this waiter, Eddie, that I work with, decides to stand at the tip of the wall at the front door because no one can see you. And he waits for this kid to do the lap around the wall.
didn't
As
trip
soon as
the
the
kid.
kid comes running by, he just sticks out his foot. And this kid face plants. The kid had to be like 5.
Oh my
my
god.
goodness.
Poor kid face plants. Right. I look up at Eddie, and Eddie looks at me, and the kid looks up at Eddie, and he looks up at me. He starts to cry, and he just runs off.
Oh man.
But he stopped crying before he got to the table, and no one knew.
Shut up.
The parents never knew. Nothing, no harm, no foul, right?
But he stopped
So-
running around the wall, huh?
That was weird for me because it was unexpected. Because
Until the
I
kid sees
didn't,
this episode.
I didn't expect a grown man to stick
is
his foot out and trip a
hilarious.
little kid that was running around being,
He wanted him to cut it out.
Yes, he was running the restaurant. His parents should have freaking.
hilarious.
He was like, I got
hilarious.
this kid. I
But,
got it.
but how about when we just came back from when we were in Barcelona, right? And we were in that cute little cafe. We were in that cute little cafe restaurant. Mm-hmm. And this, you remember?
That-
We're in this cute little cafe, and so there's this door that, I guess, is censored, right? So she didn't wait, and she
Full glass, full glass slider.
and we're sitting there, and we're like, oh,
I mean, a full glass slider with no handle.
yeah.
So you can't, if you're not paying attention, and
yeah,
she wasn't,
She wasn't.
and she was on her phone.
Yep,
and
she was on her phone.
Full speed,
Boom.
head first, right
Dude.
into it. And we're like the first table right on the inside of this little cafe.
The thing broke. The door jammed.
The slider jammed. It didn't shatter or anything, but it jammed, and it shook the bones of everybody in the restaurant.
And we were like, oh my. I
'Cause-
didn't see her after that.
Yeah, she was full speed.
Yeah.
She was very much full speed into that. So
Yep.
that was
I'm sure she was full speed
Yikes.
out of there too.
yikes.
I was like, what the heck?
You know
And
what
she
wasn't
was
full
full
speed?
on.
My eggs Benedict. It took forever to come out.
Was it delicious though? When
It
it
was
came
amazing
Out?
when it got there, late and cold, but good.
Cold?
Yeah, lukewarm.
Yeah, but the coffee was good.
Cold
Coffee was
eggs.
good. Barcelona coffee is really good.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a funny one.
What about when people drink or eat too much at dinner?
Mm.
When they get a little sauced,
A little sauced.
a little sauced
I mean, I've been there.
and gluttonous. You know what? Because it's no secret, we like to drink. And sometimes y'all like bottles of wine. Next thing you know, you look up and the volume has gone up.
Oh yeah, we're
Right?
loud.
Yeah.
What
And
we
I'm like,
talked about at my 40th, James with his face in his steak.
Oh yeah.
But there's been a few times where we've had to, or I've had to help walk a friend out of a restaurant, the arm around me.
Just for clarity, I was hovering above the steak.
It wasn't a full-on face
It wasn't
plant?
full on face plant
Got
into
it.
it. And but I was hovering enough. But for
a
the
Dauphine
same
lean,
reason.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Dauphine lean. Yes, thank you.
But it was a full on snore.
That might have been a snort. here or there. Because Lisa said you're snoring over your steak. But yeah, people get people sometimes can drink too much at dinner, and that doesn't bode well. And
But it kind of sneaks up on you. I mean, I feel like we've all experienced that, right? Like you're enjoying the food, you're enjoying the company. Next thing you know, you're like, damn, I had three cocktails or three
3 martinis. Whew. So
three glasses of wine,
one martini,
whatever.
2 martini, 3
is
martini,
there,
floor.
is
You're
there,
like, I am drunk.
is there proper etiquette in the number of drinks you should order at dinner?
I'm sure there is.
There is. I don't think you should order
More
more
than two, right?
More
That's
than
what I
two.
think. I know when I'm
Like
at a
one
work
before
function.
and one with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm at a work function, that's my personal max. And I will spread those out even if I even hit the, the two. But so I feel like that's probably, right?
Yeah.
Most people can handle, I think, if you eat.
Yeah, if you're eating,
Two,
you should be
right?
fine. And it also depends on what you're drinking. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're throwing back shots and
Yeah.
Well, it's also a respect thing for the people you're with, right? I don't want to be the person that has to carry home someone because they thought tequila was their spirit animal for the night.
yeah, and then now I'm shelling out for your 4 drinks.
Yes,
Right? Because we're splitting the bill.
because we're splitting the bill. You're absolutely
I
right.
didn't get none of that drink.
Nope.
Let me get a sip of that.
Word.
Because I'm paying.
But I know people who will do that too. They'll watch other people order more drinks and be like, I got to split this bill, so I'm going to have another drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking
Do
about?
you ever sit down and, to that end, order the more expensive dish because you know you're splitting the bill?
Sometimes, yes. I've done it.
I appreciate
Guilty.
your honesty.
I don't.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't.
It's like we're splitting the
Or
bill. I'm gonna get that
because-
$79
Because
filet
it's weird
mignon.
if it's a certain more than 4, I've done it because I feel like it gets lost in the total bill. So I'm like, if my plate is only like $10 more, let's say, then maybe the average of what no one's gonna notice my $10.
We're gonna keep an eye on Janine moving forward.
I mean, like, what, like, because I don't eat lobster, right? And if you want like the surf and turf,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you saying you don't do that?
No, I don't do that.
Really?
I'm lying.
I'm like, I know.
I
I'm
may
not
have
doing
been guilty on one or more occasion of a damn good surf and turf at
One
Del
or more.
Frisco's.
Right? Oh my God. Del Frisco's is a problem.
Janine does it when she just dines with me. It doesn't get lost in the bill.
It shows right up on your bill.
It shows right up. I see
So
it.
you see it? You see it, baby.
See it in the menu. It's like, no, she didn't. Jesus.
Do you study the menu? Do you study the menu just enough so that when your significant other is looking at the menu, you know if they're ordering too much? Is that what you're saying?
Well, everyone peruses the menu and you see the prices.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that you remember are the ones with the higher
That cost the most?
dollar sign.
But sometimes I want my peppercorn crusted steak from, what is it, Capitol Grill?
Capitol
Drove
Grill?
by it
You
today.
should have it, but
was
you
like,
should get the
yum.
4 ounce.
You should get the medallions. All right, so how about this? What about when couples argue? You're out to dinner and they start to argue
Awkward.
about stuff going on at home that's got no business.
being
I
at the
know,
dinner
but
table.
Being at the
I
dinner
said,
table.
I'm sure we've been that couple at some point.
Absolutely. We've been
I mean,
that
you're
couple.
kind of guilty of that, but so are we.
yeah.
We've
Who
been
isn't?
that couple? But how awkward is
Sometimes
it when you're
I'm
not?
like, I can't even hold this in right now.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Everybody. So sometimes I'm just like, I can't even hold this in right
It's like,
now.
oh, you want to talk about this right now?
Everybody's gonna
You want to talk about this right now?
You want to have a go?
You want to talk about this
You want to
right
have
now?
a go?
Exactly, right? Oh, we this is what we're doing. We're doing it right now.
You want to have a go?
Right now. Yeah.
Yo, I am reminiscing, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I remember one time you was like, shh.
I did not shush you. I did that? Probably.
I was like, you think I care about these people? You think I care about these people?
Oh Lord.
So yeah, we've been that couple. Sorry to whoever we were with. I don't even know. I know it's so uncomfortable. That must have been so awkward for them.
Oh my God. What about the whisper fighters?
Wait, what is that? The whisper fighters. Oh, that they just decide to take it.
Really?
So they don't necessarily take it offline in private. They handle it at the table, whispering to each other.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the tightness of their lips.
Yep.
The pursing their lips like this. And they're in each other's ear.
I told you I didn't want to talk about that. Right
I
now.
love when my ear hustle game picks up
what
on that, and I'm trying to decipher what they're
Oh,
fighting about.
oh,
Ooh, I love that.
Remember? Oh my God! Remember we went to I forgot the name of the steakhouse at the mall, and the couple was fighting at the other side of the bar.
Eddie V's?
Eddie V's?
No, it wasn't Eddie V's. It was at I forgot the name of the mall.
Chris
The-
Ruth?
Ruth
Ruth Chris.
Chris Ruth.
Chris Ruth. That's the failed steakhouse.
Yeah, they didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
But remember the
Oh
guy?
yeah, and the guy stormed out and left, and we were like, he didn't pay the bill.
I said he ain't coming back.
Yeah. And I was like, no, he's coming back. And it's like 15. I was like, oh my God, he's really not coming back. But he didn't pay the bill. And then she was like avoiding the bar. Like she literally turned her whole body
like
away.
this. Everyone,
She wasn't
like,
making
"You don't
any
see me."
contact. No. And then she was buried in her phone. And I was like,
Ooh.
you could tell that one was heated. I was like, I wish I knew what they were talking about.
Do you look at that and try to like know who the winner is of that argument when they're like the whisper fighters?
the winner was homeboy who walked out and didn't pay the bill.
Whether he lost
winning.
he lost the battle but won the war. Is that what you said?
Yeah. In my mind, she was cheating on him.
See, my story was
Oh,
different.
so you're just making up
My
stories in
story
your
was
own mind.
different.
Yeah,
Mine
yeah,
was
yeah.
that they were family members. They were somehow related and they were fighting because there was something about how close they were sitting or not. And I was like, I don't think they're a couple. But they felt familiar. Do you know what I'm saying? And the vibe he was giving her, that angry, I was like, oh, they're related.
Nah,
He
I
was
didn't get
mad.
that.
He was so mad.
I got that. She was sleeping around.
See,
I have one.
Because we heard him say, "You're lying. You're lying."
Oh no, honey, do you remember that one time that we were in the city and we went to Rio Grande, and there was a couple sitting there, and I think it was the nanny and their kid. So the wife is on one side, the nanny's on the other side, and you can see the nanny's hand on top of the husband.
Oh,
you remember
I remember that.
what?
On his thigh.
The nanny's hand was on the
thigh
thigh
of the husband.
of the husband.
And I'm looking
Under
at
the table.
under the table, and I'm
We
looking
could
at
see everything.
James, and I'm like, "Is this really happening?"
Oh, it was going down.
It went down.
And so the wife.
and I was like, "Should I tell the wife?"
Oh, the wife didn't
Wait,
catch it.
the wife. Yeah, I was gonna say,
No.
ooh.
Yep. And I was like, "Oh, is she going to the bathroom?" Because I'm gonna be like,
Man, mind your
"Oh."
business, girl.
Yes, we told me. Said, mind your
Girl.
business. I was
See,
like,
I
"God
said it.
damn, I would like somebody to tell me."
Girl, man, mind your business.
Yep. And then you can tell, and then she'll pick her hand up, and then she'll be like, "Oh," and then talking to the wife, and the husband's just like on his phone doing nothing, you know. And I was like, they are messing around. Yep. We saw the whole thing going down
How do you know it was the nanny?
because it was a nanny. It was some young little chick. She was a nanny.
I mean, they could have had an open marriage.
I don't know. Then she should have sat in the middle and put her hand on both of them. Then.
That's right.
That would have been interesting. You know
would've
what
been like,
happens though at Rio Grande? It's the margaritas. So we're talking about this amazing Mexican restaurant in New York City,
But we haven't been there in a while.
37th and 3rd?
I don't know. It has a big old buffalo
37th, 38th, and 3rd?
hanging in the ceiling.
Beautiful, wonderful Mexican restaurant, and they make the best frozen margaritas, where it's like one and
you're good. You
know,
can't have two.
One, it's a hand on the thigh, and two, it's like
In the bathroom somewhere.
in the bathroom somewhere.
Sounds like Chapala.
But it's a place it's a place that we've gone to in our early days of marriage and stuff when I worked in New York City, and we loved it. And I can imagine how many hands have been on how many thighs thanks to those margaritas in that restaurant.
That's funny.
I have to say, on more than one occasion, I have left Chapala
Well, it's those grand margaritas that we
or
be having.
very close to being drunk.
With your hand on somebody's thigh?
Only his.
Good answer.
Those grand margaritas are dangerous.
They are.
They are. I mean, they're delicious, but
Very
trying to
good.
finish a whole one is not a good
Yeah, they
idea.
creep up on you.
Not
They do
a
creep
good.
up
Yeah.
on you. And then the thing is, like, as soon as we get there, he's already pouring them. So it's not like you can be like, "No, I don't want that one today." It's too late. Too late.
knows how to get that
So
tip.
what does that say that they know you, huh? When you walk into a place, when you walk into a restaurant, because now y'all got two. Y'all.
Yes, we
okay,
do.
Have two
But
restaurants.
you know what? When we're
you
there
walk
alone, they
in
always
and
asking
they're
for y'all
shaking.
too.
So I like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like,
Lisa
yeah.
made a good point. When we're there, yes, they know our order, they're ready to go, but they're asking for you to as well.
Yep. In both places.
But when we go to Mohawk House, she already is ready to make a vodka martini
Our girl
and
Emily,
and
yeah. To
whatever
give a
it
little
is you
shout
drink.
out.
What's
Yeah.
that gin? What's that
Yeah.
gin
Oh,
thing?
with the rosemary, that one was
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us. We just
I appreciate a good cocktail.
yes. If you can make a good cocktail,
Yeah, I do.
because there's places we've been and we're like, ugh.
Yeah,
And then you
spend a
paying
lot
like
of money.
$20
Yeah,
for
that
a
I'm
crappy
like,
cocktail. Yeah.
Nope.
have you had a? Is it okay to send a drink back?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
proper etiquette?
I think so.
I think so too.
How many times can you send it
I'll
back?
be worried about the hock too.
Yes, we are.
No, but not if you're sitting at the bar.
I was gonna say if they're making it in
No.
front of you, I'm
how
okay.
many? But no, but if you're dining out with friends and you taste something and you're like, "This is gross."
It depends.
How many times can you send it back?
I'm only gonna do that once.
Once. I would only do it once.
And odds are I'm not gonna order the same drink again.
Right.
I'm gonna switch it and just
go with something safe.
yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do
So that I'm
if
not
you're
sending it
dining with
back again.
someone and they send it back more than once?
That's on them, boo. That's you.
You don't feel uncomfortable?
I mean, I might be like, you're pushing it. Because the first time, okay. But if you're going to keep doing that,
Right, and pick something you like.
special in
Yeah.
this drink.
When that third drink comes back extra foamy on top,
Yeah.
there's a problem. Yep. So careful what
And
you
be like,
order.
what's wrong with this wine?
yeah, same thing with food,
You
right?
mean you
I
didn't
mean, how
order
many
a whiskey
times are you
sour?
going to, do that and complain and go on and then, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just like at your own risk.
I don't send food back. I did recently. It was breakfast. I don't know how you mess up French toast, but it tasted like
Oh, yeah.
Oh, was it not
Mush.
cooked?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't cooked all the way through. It's like mushy bread.
Yeah, that
it was
Wet,
like
soggy.
it was soggy bread. I was like, did you even cook it? It was just soggy bread. It's like this is not
That's the
French
one they
toast.
forgot to put on the burner.
Well, I think we did a really good job with this topic here, dining out as friends. So, quick recap. Arrive on time.
Please.
Please arrive on time. Respect the reservation.
And stop looking at
Right.
me.
Respect the reservation, Janine. Show up on time. Put your phone away.
Please and thank you. Save the pictures for later.
Save the pictures
We
for
do want to
later.
see them, just not at dinner.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe at the bar.
Maybe at the bar. That's a great idea.
Yep. Be mindful of those that may order the well done steak. It's not their fault. I mean,
Whose fault
they
is
may
it?
be, maybe a rough upbringing or
You need to stop.
what have you, but
They just don't know any better.
they
don't
just
know
don't
any
know any
better.
better. You have to give a little bit of grace to those that order the
Yes,
hockey
give
puck.
grace.
And you know what? You're not eating it, so
I was
so it
gonna
doesn't
say, it's
matter.
not on my
Yeah,
plate.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
on my plate.
Right.
I'm good.
Share the bill equitably,
Please and thank you.
right? Share the bill equitably. It all comes out in the wash,
Yes.
Don't overdrink.
right?
Yes.
Don't
get
overdrink. Don't get sloppy,
Too sauced.
right? And don't bring your problems to the table. Nobody else wants to
Even
know
if
your
you're
problems
whispering?
at the
That's so
table.
much fun. Even if you whisper it.
Even if you're whispering, we don't need no whisper wars at the table. Right? And
If you
lastly,
whisper it, it's okay. Okay. I'm kidding.
and lastly, treat your bartenders, your waiters, your
Oh, the wait
servers
staff,
with
yeah.
respect. They're
Yes,
working
100%.
hard.
Yes.
They're doing their thing.
Yes.
And tip
if,
them accurately.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, what
Yes.
about that? Oh,
Appropriately.
we didn't talk about that one. But I think this is a really good one. When you have that
Tipping.
one friend
Yeah.
who wants to tip less than what they should be tipping, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Like, don't tip 10%. Like, that's just rude.
Rude.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So tip
Yes.
appropriately.
Tip appropriately.
Yep.
Thank you, Lisa, for calling that one out. That's actually a big one. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you calling that
Okay.
Yes.
out. And that's where we are. So again, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight, talking about dining out with friends. Go get yourself some reservations. Don't go anywhere without reservations.
And
All right.
arrive on time.
Arrive on time.
Arrive on time.
All right. So from the four of us to all of you, have a great night. Friends After 40. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Appreciate the support. Have a great night.